Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Lovekami Divinity stage on Nintendo Switch. Shuri turned a cold shoulder to Kagura's hinting. She clearly thought they shouldn't keep up their duo. The rather casual re-ranking to bestie aside, Kagura seemed happy to be able to reaffirm their friendship. The two came to an understanding thanks to Shuri's guidance. And so what'll happen to Lovekami? So there were no objections from Kagura either. Okay then, what about me? Don't forget me. I fought alongside you in the qualifier too. Lovekami wasn't just two people, it was a trio. Where did all that heartfelt support go? I won't cry. You guys. So, nothing's changing? I grumbled. It looked like no one wanted to pin down my new role. With the two of them going into serious competition, I could understand them wanting to keep me around for comfort. I too was happier keeping my position vague. I turned up at the usual park just as Shuri was about to start practice. What are you going to do? Go ahead and start? She clearly intended to steal some of Kagura's fans. Now that they were going head-to-head, Shuri was showing no mercy. It's not like the number of fans matters in the final vote. Why go that far? Oh, right. Sakimitama and all that. Goddess's power depends on the quality and amount of Sakimitama they get. The more fans a divine idol has, the better a performance she can give. The reason L7 stays so dominant is largely due to the power they've gained from their fans. And with that power, they can give better performances than anyone else, making them basically untouchable. Shuri went out and started dancing for her fans. Even this park in the back streets of Akihabara was a stage to her. She used to be so shy, but now she can stand proudly in front of anyone. It's hard to notice, being so close all the time, but she's really growing up. Practice finished, Shuri could finally catch a breather. I handed her a sports drink, which she drank gladly.
さてと
Still holding the bottle, she deftly tapped at her phone. Or deftly. What's wrong?
ちょっとね
The last few days, Shuri had been checking her phone a lot. Whenever she did, she always ended up looking sad, so Kagura and I were getting worried. Have you found a boyfriend?
そんなんじゃないわよ失礼ねもう
Is that rude?
失礼に決まってるじゃないこれからオーディションだっていうのにのんきに恋愛だなんて
Well, when you put it that way.
一応言っておくけど神様アイドルだからって恋愛禁止ってわけじゃないのよただ今はそういう時じゃないでしょって言いたかっただけ
Shuri is pretty picky about this kind of thing. She can be kind of uptight like a class captain and sometimes acts super serious. She's the complete opposite of carefree Kagura, but that's why they worked as a duo. Each had what the other didn't.
誤解されると嫌だから言っておくけどメッセージの相手はお姉ちゃんだから
Shuri's sister is Bishomonton, a member of L7.
前に言ったと思うけど私お姉ちゃんに内緒で今回のオーディションを受けてたからその報告をねしたんだけど返事が来ないの
She's probably just too busy to answer.
そんなことあるはずないじゃない移動の時間だってあるんだし返事くらい書けるわよ
Well, this is kind of worrying then.
どうしたんだろうお姉ちゃん
I'll try asking Sarah if she knows anything. I can't get directly involved in the audition, but I'd like to help out where I can. As the unofficial third member of Lovekami, I want to stay involved somehow. But that evening, before I could ask Sarah, I got a message from Shuri.
お姉ちゃんから連絡来ました心配かけてごめんねもう大丈夫だから
Well, I'm glad it worked out at least. I bet Shuri was relieved to hear from her sister. Now she can focus on practicing to get ready for the audition.
L7 新メンバー選抜オーディション開催中予選を勝ち抜いた五柱がいよいよ歯を競います
お姉ちゃん
My sister was up on the big Akihabara screen again today. Replacing Sarah's retirement statement, this announcement was for the main auditions. Rather than Sarah's bright cheerfulness, she was popular for her cold, strong demeanor. People said she looked just as good in men's attire, and honestly, she had a ton of girl fans.
本当のお姉ちゃんはそんなんじゃないのにな
The sister I know is a kind goddess, full of warm-hearted compassion. She can be harsh, but not just that, she can be really thoughtful too. Because I love her so much, I wanted to stand beside her, so I thought I could join L7.
いいアイディアだと思ったんだけどな
I figured she'd be happy, but I was just being silly. I know that now. I took up my smartphone and looked at her message again.
シュリに神様アイドルなんて無理だオーディションのエントリーを取り下げなさい
Not congratulations, no good job. Instead, she sent a cold order. They were harsh words, negating everything I did with Lovekami. Of course, I thought I should try to explain. I had faith she would understand if we could just talk. But she was too busy to answer her phone, and she wouldn't respond to my texts. I really just wanted to meet and talk face to face, but she said we couldn't, so I gave up.
どうして話をしなかった勝手な行動をされて私も迷惑している
She was angry. Not only that, she flat out said I was causing her problems. Being in the audition was causing problems for her. I guess maybe the sister of an active L7 member signing up might cause some trouble. I could have figured that out if I had just thought about it a little.
どうしようお姉ちゃんを怒らせちゃった
I know she told me to quit because she's angry. But I don't want to quit after coming so far. I made it through the qualifier. I don't want to stop now.
お願い、私の話を聞いて。
I knew if we could just talk, she'd understand. Saying a little prayer, I sent the message.
わかった。電話で話す時間を取ろう。
ありがとう。私ずっと待ってるね。家で待てばよかったかな。
I had chosen this park for a quiet spot to talk. I'd been waiting for her to call for about 2 hours now. People slowly disappeared from the Akihabara streets.
お姉ちゃんまだかな。
I hated waiting like this alone. If I called Yamato, he'd come running.
ダメダメ。ヤマトにばっかり頼っちゃう。
I couldn't let myself depend too much on him. I could trust him, but he wouldn't be there forever. Sooner or later, he'd leave. I had to prepare myself for that now.
着信。
Sis finally called me.
もしもし、シュリー。私だ。
It's been so long since I'd heard her voice. Even over the phone, it was soothing.
時間がない。簡潔に頼む。
ごめんお姉ちゃん。あのね、オーディションのことなんだけど。
そのことならメッセージで伝えた通りだ。すぐにエントリーを取り下げなさい。
でも私続けたいの。オーディションに合格してお姉ちゃんの隣で歌いたい。
お前の気持ちは分かった。だが神様アイドルはそう甘くないぞ。シュリが想像している以上に厳しい世界だ。シュリー、お前は本当に優しい子だ。この厳しい業界でやっていけるとは思えない。オーディション予選を経験して神様アイドルがどれだけ大変か理解しただろう。さらに先に進めば心身ともに負担は増大するぞ。
It really is hard to be a divine idol. Having tried it, I fully understood. Her warning wasn't needed.
それならお姉ちゃんはどうなの。
シュリー、
サラさんが辞めてもっと大変になるはずだよ。お休みだって全然ないみたいだし、今回だって。
I wanted to talk, but I could never get a hold of her. It's not that she was ignoring me, she was just too busy.
私は平気だ。観南シンクにくじけるほど軟弱ではないからな。だがシュリは違うだろう。お願いだ。これ以上私に心配をさせないでほしい。そろそろ時間のようだ。神様アイドルなんてやめるんだ。頼む、シュリ。
待って、お姉ちゃん。
But she hung up on me without another word. I wanted to talk more, but I knew she was really busy with Sarah quitting and all. I could see she had so much to do she couldn't even talk, which was likely one reason why she didn't want me joining.
私のこと気遣ってくれてるのはわかるけど、でもそれは過保護すぎるよ。
She always treats me as her kid sister. She was always standing and fighting like she was protecting me. I was so strong. I looked up to her for that. I thought it would be nice to be like her. And someday I hoped we could support each other as sisters.
やっぱりお姉ちゃんにとって私はまだまだ未熟で頼りないままなんだ。
That was why she felt like she couldn't rely on me. She wouldn't let me fight alongside her. That thought made me so sad. I knew I had to show her that I'd grown, that I was someone she could depend on.
お姉ちゃん、少し疲れた声してた。サラさんがいなくなって負担が増えてるよね。
She might even be the next center. If so, then things would definitely get harder.
サラさんはみんなに頼られてたけど、同時に甘えるのも上手だった。きっとお姉ちゃんはそんなに器用じゃないよね。
No matter how hard things get, she'll try to do it all alone. As her sister, I understood that much. And that's just the way she is.
だったらせめて私がそばにいて支えてあげなきゃ。
She wouldn't let anyone else help, so I had to stay by her side. And so I had to hurry. This time, it was my turn to protect my big sister.
L7 に入るだけじゃダメ。それはあくまで手段であって通過点に過ぎないんだ。
I wouldn't be her weak little sister. I'd become a comrade in arms. And to do that, I had to achieve my goal first.
今のままじゃダメだ。もっともっと強くならないと。
My hopes grew stronger, deeper. I could not lose this fight. I would win, and I would be chosen as the next member of L7. Whenever I had free time, I went by the practice spot. Kagura usually worked afternoons, so she couldn't come, so I pretty much only ever watched Shuri practice. Today, she was dance training, no singing. She was wearing her school uniform, not her idol costume. Shuri herself knew that Kagura was a better dancer, so she was working on that weak point. Good work. Here's your towel.
ありがとう。
Shuri wiped herself down, still out of breath. You're really working hard today. That dance was smoking.
この程度じゃまだまだよ。神楽なら涼しい顔してこれ以上のダンスができるから。
You may be right, but really, do you have to aim that high?
それじゃダメなのよ。
Shuri's voice grew rough. She was worn out, body and mind. It's good to work hard, but don't overdo it. If you hurt yourself, you'll be out of the audition.
わかってるわ。
She hadn't even caught her breath, but she went back to practice. Shuri seemed somehow savage, like she was being driven by something. It was evening, and Kagura came by after work.
練習頑張ってるみたいだね。うちのお客さんにも噂になってたよ。
Shuri had practiced from morning till evening. I don't think she'd practiced so long even during the qualifier. People are starting to talk, huh? But even so, there isn't much of an audience here.
ああ、なんかガチだったから近寄れる雰囲気じゃなかったって。シュリー、今もちょっと顔怖いよ。ほら、笑って笑って。
神様アイドルは笑顔が基本だったかしら。
そういうこと。もう、私が散々教えたのに、もう忘れちゃったの？
Shuri had always smiled during performing on the streets, but that was because she honestly enjoyed it. She hadn't been very good at flashing her smile at fans as a divine idol, though. I remember clearly how that had been a problem when they first formed their duo, and Kagura had really trained her on it.
神楽は練習に来たの？なら交代するけど。
で、そのまま帰っちゃうつもり？せっかく一緒になったんだし、久しぶりにラブカミでやろうよ。
If it's just a little while, why not? You could even help each other's weak points. Unfortunately, explaining little details of technique was beyond me. Shuri must have realized this, since she simply agreed to the suggestion.
よーし、それじゃあ、いくよー。ミュージック、スタート！
They took their poses, then started dancing in unison. After all their practice as a duo, Shuri and Kagura were in perfect sync. Lovekami wasn't fading. That made me so happy, I couldn't stop watching them. You two were great out there. When they finished their song, I offered some words of encouragement. But Kagura didn't look at me. She was staring at Shuri, troubled.
シュリー、今のはどういうこと？
どういうことって言われても、ミスはなかったと思うけど。
さっき言ったばっかでしょ？神様アイドルは笑顔が基本って。歌って踊るだけなら練習すれば誰だってできるの。そこに笑顔と思いを乗せてこそ神様アイドル。さっきのシュリ全然できてなかったじゃない。
But this was just practice. Is it really necessary?
練習だからこそちゃんとやるんだよ。練習でできないことが本番でできるはずないでしょ。
Kagura was right. You have to treat practice like it's the real deal. Even if there isn't anyone there to watch, you have to perform like there's an audience.
そんなんじゃみんな楽しくなってくれないよ。応援だってしてくれなくなっちゃうんだから。
ごめんなさい。
練習だからっていい加減なことしないで。それとも何？シュリの本気はあの程度だってこと？せっかくチャンスをつかんだんだもん。頑張ろうよね、シュリ。
Even after Kagura tried to cheer her up, Shuri still couldn't smile. The more she focused on it, the harder it became. Shuri's expression grew even more grim, and that smile she used to have on the streets was nowhere to be seen.
それじゃあ今日はこれにて解散ということで、お疲れ様でした。
It was getting late, so they wrapped up practice and went their separate ways. But Shuri just stood there messing with her phone. Shuri, aren't you going home?
もうちょっといる。
スマホのゲームもほどほどにしなきゃダメだよ。練習がおろそかになっちゃうし。
わかった。
Shuri answered, but she didn't look at Kagura.
じゃあお先。ヤマト、一緒に帰ろう。
Oh, yeah, okay. I was worried about Shuri, but Kagura pulled me away and we left.
ねえ、今のシュリってやばくない？
Kagura asked me with a worried look after finally letting go of my arm.
ずーっとムスッとした顔だったし、あんなの私の大好きなシュリじゃないよ。
Yeah, there's something weird going on. I wonder what happened.
そういうプライベートな話、シュリはあんまり言ってくれないんだよね。こっちが聞こうとすると怒るし。
Shuri had always kept people from getting too deep into her affairs. And that's why Kagura was so afraid to ask now.
とにかく今のままじゃ絶対ダメだよ。放っておいたら大変なことになると思う。だからさ、ヤマトが注意深く見守ってくれない？
Well, yeah, but I'm already doing that.
それは神様アイドルの首里を見守ってるってことでしょ？私が言いたいのはそうじゃなくて、一人の女の子、吉祥天首里のことをちゃんと本当は私が友達として支えてあげたいんだけど、今の首里にとって私は戦うべき相手だから。多分だからお願い、ヤマト、首里の助けになってあげて。
Right. Shuri is important to me too. I'll watch out for both our sakes.
頼んだからね。いい雰囲気になったらチューとかしちゃってもいいから。
Ah, where'd that come from?
ヤマトだって男の子だしね。そういうご褒美があった方がやる気出るでしょ？
Why, you... But you're not wrong.
自分の唇じゃないと安売りできていいね。
Wait till Shuri hears that.
あ、ごめん、嘘です。シュリが聞いたらマジ叩かれるし、許して。
I'm just joking. Thank you for worrying about her. It really makes me glad.
何それ、シュリの彼氏みたいな言い方。
You're one to talk. The two of us are turning into her guardian angels.
まったく世話が焼けるよね、うちのツンデレお姫様は。
Just between us, that's kind of her best point.
ほんとそう。シュリは素直じゃないところが超可愛い。あれはずるいと思う。
Clearly, Kagura and I were in agreement about Shuri's charms. But of course, that wasn't the issue. I had to watch out for her, as she was clearly going through trouble.
やっぱり私まだまだなのかな。
Kagura had really struck a nerve at practice today. She was probably much better suited to being a divine idol than I could ever be. She always thought about how to put fans and their enjoyment first, and it genuinely made her happy.
神楽は自覚してないかもしれないけどね。すっごい強敵だよ。
Clearly, singing and dancing could only go so far. So the better I got, the more important it became to find some other way to compete. There was something about Kagura that charmed people, something special that I didn't have.
でも、私は平凡な神様だから、みんなより何倍も努力するしかない。
I could practice harder than anyone. Kagura was working on her skills at work too. We were both still amateurs, and so that would be our real contest. That's what I'd have to bet it all on.
時間がない。練習を再開しないと。
I started practicing again in the darkened path.
笑えない私には、この暗さがちょうどいい。
I can't smile. Smiling is for Kagura. Wanting to forget that truth for a moment, I danced in the darkness. In the sleepless Akihabara streets, this is where I found the darkness that I needed.
わかってるよ。全部。
I knew without Kagura having to tell me. But just like people, goddesses couldn't change in an instant. All I could do was keep trying to live life. All I could do was to keep living life to its fullest right now. Is Shuri really okay? The way she'd been acting had got me worried. Was it alright to leave her on her own? If I didn't do something to help her soon, it might be too late. Sorry it's so late. There's something I need to ask you about. Can I call you? Maybe I was being paranoid, but I decided to text Shuri anyway. I didn't have to wait long for her reply.
お腹すいた、助けて。
Are you at home?
公園。
Why is she still there? I've been right to worry after all. In fact, I felt like I'd been too naive before. If Shuri was at the park, she must have been practicing. Has she not stopped since I saw her last? All kinds of worst-case scenarios started flooding into my head. I dashed out of the house and heaved towards the park. On the way, I stopped at a convenience store to get some supplies. What is she thinking? I brought whatever I saw and thought I needed. Judging by her text, Shuri was probably in pretty bad condition by now. Shuri! When I arrived, I found Shuri sitting on a bench in a corner of the park.
ヤマト、来てくれたんだ。
What do you think you're doing here at this hour?
何って、練習だけど。
Do you even know what time it is? It's not safe for a girl to be out this late.
あ、その、ごめん。そっか。女の子、なんだよね。すっかり忘れてた。
Jeez, get a hold of yourself. Shuri spoke like she didn't really know what she was saying. Here, I got some food and stuff. Take whatever you like.
ありがとう、ヤマト。愛してる。
That's not the kind of thing you should go saying to just anyone. Normally, Shuri would never say something like that. The fatigue must have really getting to her. Or the fatigue must be getting to her.
わかってるわよ。だって女の子だもんね。
She casually shrugged off my rebuke. By now, Shuri's attention was totally focused on the idea of food, as she intently rummaged through the convenience store bag.
じゃあ、おにぎりもらうね。鮭のやつ。い
Sure, go ahead. Take your time and eat slowly.
ただきまーす。
Judging by the way she tore into her rice ball, Shuri must have been really starving. As I watched over her, I once more got the feeling that something wasn't right. Seriously, what were you thinking? I spoke up after giving her some time to catch her breath.
ごめんね。心配かけて。
If you are, then stop pushing yourself so hard. It's not just me. Kagura's worried about you too.
そっか。カグラが。アホの子っぽく見えるけど、結構ちゃんと周りのこと見てるのよね。私とは大違いだ。
Shuri stared absently at her half-eaten rice ball while muttering those self-depreciating words. Come on, it's not like you to talk like that.
そうかな。そんなに私らしくない？っていうか、私らしいってどういうやつ？起承転処理ってどう見られてるのかな？
Is that a question that you need people to tell you the answer to? Shuri was totally losing sight of herself. She was usually so full of confidence, but now it seemed like she'd just been acting tough the whole time. You're tired. You should take a break.
ダメだよ。こんな大事な時に休めない。
You need to take better care of yourself, because time is precious. You look like you're about to keel over. Shuri's smile had vanished without a trace. It wasn't just when her fans were around. Even in her daily life, she seemed as if she was reaching a breaking point. She'd never been able to carry on as a divine idol like this.
でも、お姉ちゃんが、お姉ちゃんをすぐにでも支えてあげないと。だから頑張ってオーディションに勝って、L7 のメンバーにならないとダメなの。
Something had gotten Shuri really fired up. Everything she'd been bottling up burst out like a blazing flame.
のんびりしてたら、神楽にだって勝てない。私には何もないから、とにかく練習するしかないの。
Kagura'd be mad if she heard you put yourself down like that. Hey, Shuri, what's this really about? Shuri's sister, Bishomoten, had, or was already a member of L7. Was she in some kind of trouble?
お姉ちゃんにね、叱られちゃった。お前には神様アイドルなんて無理だ。諦めろって。
Did she say why?
私が未熟だから心配なんだと思う。
Shuri told me about what happened between her and her sister, and about how she was determined to pass the audition and do what she could to help Bishomoten.
分かってくれたよね。
Well, I get why you'd think that way, but practicing until you collapse won't help. This is an issue of practicing efficiently.
それは確かに。
You're going through some hard times, huh, Shuri? Then ask someone for help. I'm right here, you know.
でもそれじゃ神楽に悪いし。
Kagura said it herself. She told me she'd be fine and that she wanted me to keep an eye on you.
そんな神楽がどうして？
See? You've been pushing yourself so hard, even your rivals want to help you. I'm not saying you shouldn't give it your all, just don't try to do everything alone. You've got friends you can turn to, like me and Kagura. Shuri was worried about the auditions and about her sister. She just had too many things weighing on her mind. When it all got too much for her, that must have been when she got so obsessed with practice. She'd been blinded to the fact that she was only doing herself harm.
私頼ってもいいの？
Of course. I want to do what I can to support you.
じゃあ
Shuri gently slumped against me.
神楽はライバルだから今はヤマトにだけちょっとだけ寄りかからせてもらうね。
Shuri leaned in closer and buried her face in my shoulder. Gripping my clothing tightly, she started to let out quiet sobs. Shuri was crying. Obviously, she didn't want me to see, but there was no way to hide it.
ごめんね。私泣いちゃって。
I'm not watching, so cry as much as you like.
ありがとうヤマト。
I looked away to give Shuri some sense of privacy. Wow, you can still see the stars, even from here in the city. Looking up, I could see several stars in the sky. The stars weren't much to look at, but they shone resolutely. I'll always be here for you, Shuri. We'll do our best together, and you'll pass this audition. Shuri raised her head and joined me in looking at the stars.
星見えるね。
We'll probably see a lot more if we went out to the countryside.
でもいい。私はこれで。今の私にはこの星空で十分だから。もっと光り輝けるようになったらまた今度一緒にいっぱいの星を見よう。
Sounds good. I'll look forward to it. A few days later, Shuri came to my house. We were here to discuss our new plan of attack.
オーディションに勝つにはやっぱりダンスの強化は必須だと思うの。
We had completely different views on how to proceed. Shuri was convinced she needed to strengthen her weaker skills, while I thought it would be better to emphasize her strong points. Do you think you can get as good as Kagura in the time you've got left?
そんなのやってみなきゃわかんないでしょ。頑張ってなんとかしてみせるつもりだし。
You're already trying to do the impossible again. That attitude of yours is going to get you into trouble.
でも
Shuri had a tendency to try to power through any problem she came up against. I'd already seen how disastrously things could turn out when she used that approach. I think you're charming enough already without forcing yourself. Why not focus on maximizing your best traits?
魅力的ってヤマトのくせに恥ずかしいこと言うわね。そこまで言うなら私のどこが魅力的なのか具体的に説明してもらおうじゃないの。
Blushing from ear to ear, Shuri fired a challenge back at me. Okay, sure. I'll list your good points one by one. First off, you're a great singer. Sada's voice may be more polished, but when you sing, you always touch the hearts of your audience. You're also gorgeous. You might not be aware of it yourself, but when it comes to looks, you're top-notch. Then there's the cute way you react to every little thing. It makes you seem kind of innocent and makes people want to protect you. Oh, and the way you're shy and hardworking, you care about your sister so much. You're considerate, and you always try your best. And that's why I like you. Got so carried away that my feelings slipped out. But I wasn't lying or trying to suck up to her, so I didn't regret what I said.
好きだぞってそれじゃまるで告白してるみたいじゃない。
Shuri's face instantly went bright red. It sounded that way because that's how I meant it. I'd come this far, there was no backing down now. It was time to face my feelings for Shuri head on. Shuri, I like you.
あの
Going for broke, I threw my arms around her. Shuri cried out in surprise at my sudden embrace. I guess things were moving too fast. But this was how she made me feel. I thought of her as a girl and not a goddess, and I wanted her as my girlfriend. Will you go out with me? One guy to one girl... As one guy to one girl, I like you, Shuri Kishoten. I did my best to get my feelings across, and with my words and my actions, I hugged Shuri even tighter and whispered my confession of love into her ear.
女の子の私を好きになってくれたんだ。
Shuri mumbled happily from within my embrace. Yeah, more than a goddess or an idol. I think of you as a beautiful, amazing girl.
今がそういう時じゃないって分かって言ってるのよね。
Actually, I think it is. We could achieve much more together as boyfriend and girlfriend.
確かにその方がオーディションにはプラスかもね。でも勘違いしないで。利害関係で返事をするわけじゃないから。ということで心のこもった告白に対して私から返事をさせていただきます。
Shuri pushed me away for a moment and composed herself. My heart was in my mouth while I waited for her answer.
と
Perhaps she was nervous too, the way she kept fidgeting and clearing her throat. Her cheeks dyed a vibrant red. Shuri looked me right in the eyes.
私もヤマトのこと好きよ。だからあなたの彼女になってあげる。一人の女の子吉祥天首里として私があなたの彼女になりたいのという感じなのだけど、どうかしら。
She said yes. I was stunned. I was the one who'd started all this, but I never thought it would go this well.
ちょっとねえヤマト、何固まってるの？
Oh, sorry. I'm just kinda in shock.
そんなに意外だった？
Yeah, more than I can put into words. I mean, you're a goddess and I'm a human, you know? You don't hear about this happening every day.
大げさね。一人の女の子って言ってくれたのは他でもないヤマトじゃない。
I guess I did.
とにかく改めて言うけど、さっきの告白は OK だから、今日からヤマトの彼女ということでよろしくお願いします。
You know I will, Shuri. And so, Shuri and I officially became an item. I still had some misgivings about the human deity romance issue, but they soon gave way to supreme joy that such a stunning girl was going on with me. This was the start of a dreamy, romantic new chapter in my life. Or so I thought. Those naive hopes were crushed pretty quickly.
ヤマト、シュワシュワおかわり。
Coming right up. We bought some soft drinks to toast our new relationship. We munched on some snacks and had our own little private party.
ねえ、聞いてよヤマト、お姉ちゃんたらひどいんだよ。
Shuri'd been griping for a while now. None of these drinks were alcoholic, but it was like she was a bad drunk. Not that I was going to complain if she'd opened her heart towards me enough to talk about things she usually kept to herself.
いっつも私を子供扱いして心配してくれるのは嬉しいけど過保護すぎだよ。神楽も最近は私のこと甘やかすし。ねえ、私ってそんなに頼りないかな。子供っぽい？
No, of course not. You're totally a responsible adult.
でしょでしょ。もうみんな全然分かってないよね。その点ヤマトはちゃんと分かってて偉い。花丸あげちゃう。
Shuri traced a star on my cheek with her finger. It was a weird sensation, but not in a bad way.
みんなして私を子供扱いするけど、れっきとした彼氏持ちなんだから。彼氏のいない残念神様には絶対負けないもん。
Shuri wrapped herself around my arm as if to emphasize that we were a couple, not that any of her rivals were there to see it. I'd been so nervous when I asked her out that I hadn't thought much about what I said, but I really did consider Shuri a regular girl. A regular girl with lovely soft skin and who smelled really good up close.
ヤマト、どうしたの？
It's just starting to hit me that you really are my girlfriend.
あ、ごめん。
It seemed like she was finally sobering up. Even so, she didn't pull away.
恋人なのよね。
Yep.
こうしてくっつくの嫌？
I was hoping you'd say that.
そっか、よかった。
It seemed that Shuri was very much in favor of snuggling. She seemed embarrassed, but still held close to me.
よかったね。おめでとう、シュリ、ヤマト。私も祝福するよ。
We'd met up with Kagura and told her that Shuri and I started going out. At first she'd been shocked, but then she smiled and wished us well.
ごめんね。いろいろ心配させちゃったのにこんな結果になって。
シュリが謝ることじゃないって。謝るならヤマトの方だし。もう弱みにつけ込むような真似しちゃって。
Ow! That hurts, Kagura! Kagura suddenly gave me a noogie.
これでよし。私の気は済んだから。シュリがヤマトと付き合うなら遠慮せず協力して私に挑んできなさい。二人がかりでも絶対負けないんだからね。
神楽ってばすごいな。
She puts me to shame. I could never be as cool as that.
かっこいいのは神楽に任せた。私は可愛いで頑張ろうかな。
Sure enough, the way Shuri looked when she said that was the epitome of cuteness. She was already cute when she tried to act aloof, but now she started to open up around me. Things were on a whole new level. I almost feel bad that other people get to watch you.
なーに？私のこと独り占めにしたいの？
Well, I am your boyfriend after all.
やきもち焼いちゃって。ヤマトも可愛いわよ。
Come on, don't tease me. Having reported to Kagura, we headed to Shuri's usual spot for practice. Why don't we... Which one is it? Where are we going here? Well, so confusing. Anyway, just how to quit to the main menu, man. Anyway, this is audap, and you've been watching Lovekami Divinity stage on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.